I'm sure I
Man.
have a bunch of other names too, but we're gonna go with that today. We're gonna
The
go with that.
attorney extraordinaire is in the building, y'all. Suzette Bagnaris joins us on Fridays. And of course, we got a lot to talk about because it was interesting because you asked me, it's like, our subject today, I think I sent you 6.
You sent me 6, but that because they have a lot going on.
And it's a
So
lot
I
going
get
on.
that.
And
There's
I
a
got
lot
some
going
more,
on.
and I got some more to add to it.
Well, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
So, first of all, let me say, my blessings. I am glad that you are my friend, my sister. You, Emil, and the family is just like my family away from home. I love y'all and don't know what I could do without you. The other thing I want to say is God bless Mom,
Yes.
because I know that's been taxing.
We had a rough week. So I gave a wedding shower for
Mm-hmm.
my middle daughter who's getting married in March. And my mom contracted pneumonia at the shower.
Oh, wow.
So we spent the last week over at UMC, and, kudos to the staff at UMC. They really did a tremendous job. And she's back home.
It's good when you know people.
It is good when you know people. But I tell you what, I really have to say, everyone who cared for her, even before many of them realized, who I was or whatever, they really gave her great care.
Yeah.
And I'm just very, very thankful to have her back home and to have another Christmas with her.
So she is home.
She's back home.
Good.
She was supervising the wrapping of the gifts yesterday, so she's back home.
And she back in her element.
Yes.
That's funny. Supervising.
Supervising the wrapping. Because there's
gifts.
a right way and there's a wrong way,
Of course.
apparently, to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she was supervising
She
that
could
yesterday.
not come by me to supervise me. Because she would tell you, she'd call you up and say, come over here and help me. Because this boy don't know what he's doing.
Look, she would definitely give you her 2 cents on the art of gift wrapping,
Mm-hmm.
the history of gift wrapping,
And I'd be like,
and why you're doing it wrong.
Put your fingers to work.
Exactly. But we are just, it's a blessing when you have family members with such longevity, and you can experience that legacy of generations of family gathering. So we are very excited to have the opportunity to do that one more again.
Well, and we also have to, again, thank God that we have our folks still with us, because you never know when your time is up.
You never know.
And putting truth to power on that one is, look at my friend Michael Ward.
Oh my goodness! I just saw
him. Surprising to everybody.
I just saw him last month. He and his son entertained for the Young Men Illinois Club's debutante tea. The son primarily did the job of entertaining. But I want to say, you never know when it's your day. He has been a staple in the community. He will definitely be missed. But one of the things he did was pass on
to his son,
his skill. And that legacy, is just a wonderful thing to see. And the love between them. And the son will forever be able to say, this is something my dad did with me. And he gave me this gift and this talent. So I feel privileged to have seen one of their last performances together. I'm just sorry to see him go.
Yeah. And much love to Lindsay. I know that she's going through a whole bunch, just accepting what has happened, but also wanted to look at her and just, wrap your arms around her with love, because this had to be a shock for her. And I know that she loved her husband. I know she loved her husband. And I know them boys love their daddy. So we'll try to find out, too, within the next couple of days about the funeral arrangements. He was also a sheriff's deputy, so the sheriff just put out a statement.
I didn't know that about him until I started, looking at things online.
Mm-hmm. I was I told a story. I can remember. I think it was 2010, or even before then, that I got a chance to meet Calvin Moret, who was New Orleans' own Tuskegee Airman. and he would come over to the radio station and do stories with me on the air and stuff, and tell about his service as a Tuskegee Airman, how he was taught to fly, and all those different things. And he also owned the cleaners here. Him and his family owned the cleaners here. But we this was during the time where Red Tails, the movie, was coming out, and it was about the Tuskegee Airmen. So I did a promotion on the air saying, we're going to buy out all the tickets to the AMC Galleria Theater on the West Bank. I think it was like 500 tickets. People were going left and right to go buy those tickets for that day. And we sold the theater out. And I had a limousine company to come pick him and his family up.
Oh, that was nice.
The manager at one of the restaurants gave him and his family meals. I mean, just a whole nice meal. And Michael and his other motorcycle partners for the sheriff's office escorted, had light sirens going, and escorted them from Gentilly all the way to the West Bank. And Mike jumped off his bike when he got there, and they all stood at attention and saluted him.
Mm-hmm.
I never forget that. That meant a whole lot to Mr. Moret. You couldn't wipe the smile off of his face. And then of course, me hosting different events, Mike's always there. He was there for Thanksgiving at the convention center playing for those folks coming to get meals. And then of course he was on the New Orleans East. He was in New Orleans East earlier this September, playing on stage for the New Orleans East Festival. So I always see Mike. And then of course we went to go see him over at Sweet Lorraine's when he was at Sweet Lorraine's with his son. I was like, man, you never know. Today you're here. Tomorrow it could be a different day.
That's why you have to live your life,
Yep.
As if every day might be your last, and to tell people how you really feel about them while you can, while you have that opportunity.
So, yeah, that was something that happened that I was not prepared for. As a matter of fact, when it did happen, I was saying to myself, that can't be true until you hear everybody else talking about it. So I called the sheriff. She was like, yep, it happened. So I was like, oh, no. Then, of course, Bannergate.
I knew we were going to talk about Bannergate today, and I have two perspectives on Bannergate.
And there's more to it that happened today.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead. I'm going to let you talk first, and then I'll tell you the news.
So I'm sure all of you have seen, the images of the banners coming down that were posted.
Kim DeLosa is funny as I don't know what.
Yeah, I know.
You saw what she did?
I did see.
Okay.
The banners. So just for those who don't know, Mayor-elect Helena Moreno had some banners placed at Gallia Hall in anticipation of her inauguration day. Mm-hmm. And they had slogans that embody her platform and what she intends to do as mayor. Well, the existing mayor, the sitting mayor, Mayor Cantrell, had them removed by the Public Works Department. Mm-hmm. There's one perspective that I have seen all over social media that basically says that Cantrell's actions were proper and within her authority. They were a necessary reminder that she is still the sitting mayor. They were a response, others felt, to what felt like an early assertion of power by the mayor-elect. And people likened it to if Biden had, posted banners prior to, his predecessor leaving office, or if Trump had posted banners prior to Biden leaving office. How would people feel about that? Not allowing the peaceful transition of power, not allowing her to have her final moments as the sitting mayor. So from this perspective, hanging the banners before inauguration crossed the line. It blurred the distinction between ceremonial preparation and symbolic displacement, and it could be interpreted as disrespect to the current mayor. In other words, this was her saying, hey, you're out of order. I'm still the mayor. Now, I understand all of those arguments. Now I'm going to put on a different hat. I'm going to put on the lawyer hat. Again, I don't know who is advising Mayor Cantrell, and I have been saying that now for 2 years. So let me take my commentator hat off for a moment and put on my trial lawyer hat. Mayor Cantrell is under federal indictment. Her case will be tried in federal court in New Orleans, and that matters. Federal juries in New Orleans are extremely conservative, and they come from places like Kentwood, Louisiana. Okay, they come from St. Bernard Parish. They come from all over. They are heavily influenced by demeanor, restraint, and credibility. They are skeptical of public officials who appear combative or entitled. Federal jurors are not voting for you, they're judging you when you're sitting in that box. So if I were her lawyer, I would have strongly advised her against doing something like that as she's walking out the door. Trials are not just about facts, they are about who you are and who you are perceived to be. And the prosecution's unspoken narrative at this trial is going to be that she's an elected official who believes she's entitled and doesn't have to play by the rules. That's going to be their opening statement to this jury. So every public action enforces or undermines that narrative. So using city resources to remove banners for a mayor-elect's inauguration, although legally permissible, although she was fully within her rights, does not help her case that's going to be proceeding in federal court. And that would have been a lawyer's nightmare for me, seeing her do that. Because if she were my client, I would be encouraging her at this point to be doing a lot of community service, to be seen kissing babies, shaking hands, volunteering at nursing homes, doing whatever she can do in the public eye to be perceived as a quote-unquote good person. So, when you're under federal indictment, you lower the temperature. You don't raise it. You avoid unnecessary conflict. You show respect for institutions. You demonstrate humility and restraint, and you do not create side disputes that can make headlines and invite people to judge you on your character. Now, that's the two sides of the story, okay? Yes, she was right. Yes, it was an act of disrespect to do that to her. But she's not the average Joe right now.
I just wanted to raise my hand.
Go ahead.
That other hat, the lawyer hat, that's been passed.
I know, but she's got to do something to mitigate her situation.
It don't matter if she sat up there with Mother Teresa by the manger.
That's what I would have her do if I were her lawyer right now.
But I'm trying to tell you right now, the way that those folks that don't like her, it don't matter if she was sitting up there saying, "Oh, and singing Christmas carols. It don't matter. Because right now, them folks that made up their mind just about who she is, what she is, and they don't like her. They didn't like her from the time that they said, open up the city, and she said, no, because you didn't elect me. My people did. And that's when she got that name, TD. But them folks did never let her go. They ain't going to do nothing. They done figured out she traveling. She traveling on the people's dime like nobody else has done that. She with Vappy. And she living in the Pentalva and da-da-da-da. They saying how much she done spent living in the Pentalva.
All of which Suzette Becknaris suggested she should not do.
You were going to get the U-Haul to help her move.
I'm telling you.
But my point is, what was good for her to move, but nobody ever brought up in this budget issue that they spent $800,000 of our money to investigate it, to find out who she's sleeping with.
But they, the other people on the council, are not the ones facing the jury box in the upcoming trial.
But I'm concerned about her. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is, it don't matter. Because they done already figured out who's pulling the strings right now. Because those folks that we talking about that don't like her, they the puppets.
But here's the thing. They're going to be showing all these headlines and all these issues about what she did last year, the year before, okay? But there are also some great things that she did while she was in office with respect to how she handled COVID, with respect to how, to how she handled many other issues. So jurors tend to remember what's right in front of them, what's most recent, what they recall, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think between now and the time she faces that jury box, she needs to be very, very mindful of how she is appearing in the public to people who did not necessarily vote for her, who probably didn't vote for her. Even if they could have voted for her, they would not have voted for her. She needs to be mindful of these things because right now it's CYA time.
Right. But you got to
And
understand.
these things don't help.
But she is a mayor that won twice. Somebody put her in office that still likes her. So I don't know where her popularity is now. I just think those folks that don't like her have the microphone and they speak loudly. And I do think that media entities are also involved in this whole scenario. We got to take a break. We'll take the break here. We'll take your telephone calls too. 504-582-9422 is our number. More coming up in a minute, y'all.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
LifeCare provides valuable whole life insurance to cover final expenses such as medical bills, burial costs, and unpaid debt. A final expense insurance policy is fast, easy, affordable life insurance that's available to anyone between the ages of 50 and 80. No medical exams, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. The application process is quick and easy. You can even apply without having to undergo a medical examination. Just answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. With the average funeral cost skyrocketing to $11,000 and Social Security only paying $255, you need simple, affordable peace of mind for you and your whole family. Don't leave behind unpaid expenses that, if left unattended, will burden your family tremendously. Benefits include a guaranteed premium that will never increase, a guaranteed cash value, and a guaranteed death benefit that can never decrease. To find out how you can get final expense insurance with a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, call LifeCare at 800-571-9955. That's 800-571-9955. 800-571-9955.
My name is Darius Henderson. My name is Cornelius Frazier Jr. And on behalf of Echo Media, we would like to wish everyone a happy holiday.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. It's Friday, getting closer to Christmas. In the building, having a conversation. She is in here, the attorney extraordinaire. Ladies and gentlemen, Suzette Bagnaris. You played the attorney piece on me too. So you don't think that those folks that have made up their mind about her are not going to be petty?
Well, the Eastern District of Louisiana, where this trial is going to be, has a very interesting jury pool. The jurors come from Orleans Parish, Jefferson Parish, St. Bernard Parish, Plaquemine Parish, St. Tammany Parish, Washington Parish, and Tangipahoa Parish. That matters. That's an extremely conservative jury pool. It's not like she's going to be in front of an Orleans Parish jury of her peers. So, I think that if she started doing a lot of community service, which is what I would have pushed her to do since the time these people started investigating her and doing, focusing upon improvements in the city and things like that, then I think she could have put some things in front of them to mitigate her situation, to make it a little better in sentencing should she be convicted, to try to convince them to not go hard on her. But picking fights that's unnecessary to end up in the paper again, headline, the front story on the news every night, not the way to go, because that's all these other people are seeing. And, I think at this point, it doesn't serve her well. Why does she care if there's a banner up at City Hall 2 weeks early, 3 weeks early?
So what everybody's not getting is the fact that there are the K-20 event that is happening at Gallia Hall. And that K20 event that's happening has got people coming in from all over the country, and they're using Gallia Hall. Well,
I see.
She made
Okay.
it a point to let everybody know they're just not promoting what they're saying about the K20 event. And I had a couple of folks that are involved with it to send me the information. So I got the information and I got all the photos from the number of folks that's at Gallia Hall for this K20 event.
I'm not saying she's wrong. Okay,
no.
but I want to be clear.
I think she's right.
I think that what she has done, the action she has taken, is a correct action. It would be highly inappropriate and disrespectful if a president-elect, while President Biden was still in office, asserted his privilege and moved inauguration signs and imagery into the White House or hung them up on the Capitol a month early. The same would be true if a Governor-elect Landry did similar while Governor John Bel Edwards was still serving. Holding standalone press conferences or sensitive matters that are properly within the knowledge of a sitting elected official is inappropriate. So I understand why she did what she did, and anybody else doing what she did would not face a consequence. Here, she's being judged at a different standard, and unfortunately, she's in a different situation. And what I'm saying is, while she's 100% right in what she did, my concern is things like this are going to negatively impact her in her upcoming trial. For self-preservation, I really don't think it was, these kinds of things are serving her well. And if I were her lawyer, I would have discouraged her from doing that. She needs to be seen in the media light right now as doing very positive things, very community engaged things, and not picking fights with the incoming administration. That's not serving her personally well.
Yeah, but I would guess my point, and I don't know how, if I had to talk to my attorney about this, what does this incident have to do with anything coming up in her trial?
It has a lot to do with it. Okay, so jury perception is huge. And I mean, even in a civil trial, we counsel our clients that from the moment we step out of the car in the parking lot, the jury is assessing you as a person. They're assessing your character. If they don't like you, they're going to rule against you. Even at breaks, it's important how you carry yourself. It's important what you post on social media leading up to your trial, because the jurors can go and look at that kind of thing. Here in a criminal trial where she knows she's indicted, she knows she's going to be facing a jury that's not a jury of her peers, public perception is huge right now. And, unfortunately, juries don't always rule on facts. They rule on personality. They rule on perception. And I think that this could really harm her if she continues to go down this road, picking unnecessary fights, okay, that really don't matter a whole lot to her at this point as an outgoing mayor. She needs to start thinking a little bit more of herself and take a self-interested perspective here, and self-preservation is what I'm saying. So that's the two sides of this coin. I do believe that Helena Moreno was wrong in having those banners posted before it was the right time.
Right.
Before the inauguration. I think she could have waited, for the inauguration to post those kinds of things and to start looking like she's running the city. Okay, she's right. The mayor is right.
Yeah.
Mayor Cantrell is right.
So
But
there's another
this could
part of
hurt her.
this. There's another part of this. As of today, they have taken those banners and hung them up on a museum that's a state museum in the French Quarter. So it's not a city building. You could have done that in the first place.
They could have done it in the first place, but they could have also waited. I think the right thing to do would have been to wait. So I agree with Mayor Cantrell that this was out of order. Okay. But at the same time, protect yourself, girl. Protect yourself. Because it's coming down to the fact that you're going to be in a box with people who, in front of a box of people who aren't aligned with your values.
Yeah. I just think the whole thing is like not thought out correctly or petty, either or.
Oh, it's kind of petty.
It's petty.
I felt the petty in it.
Yeah.
But is it a time to be petty, or is it a time to preserve
Did you just ask
yourself?
me, is there a time to be petty?
Is it the time to be petty?
It's petty.
It's definitely petty.
Yeah, it's petty.
And normally I'm team petty.
Now you team petty.
Okay, but when I have to be team lawyer,
Mm.
that's not a wise thing to do as a client facing an indictment and going in front of that kind of jury.
But when I'm using a city building like Gallia Hall for an event that is taking place with many folks coming from across the country to take place in there, and those banners are there, and they wanted to put up the K20 banners. I will tell you that they did want to put those up, but you got yours up. So how about, my question was, if you put those banners up and you had permission to do so, where's the email with somebody's signature, the dates of it that show that?
Well, hanging banners for upcoming swearing-in ceremonies, that's logistical preparation, it's ceremonial planning, it's historically routine. It's not
That
really
can be done next month.
It could have been done next month. I don't know who actually made the call and who actually gave the approval. Okay, we don't know that. I don't know that this was the city council's call to allow her to put these banners up early. I don't know if they sought approval from the city council. I don't know who the proper entity is to seek
the mayor.
approval from.
The mayor.
Or I don't know if the mayor gets down in those details. Do you think the mayor gets down in the details of who
To
hangs a banner?
Banners of that length, that big on Gallier Hall, yeah, that would be
The mayor's
mayor.
approval?
Yeah.
Right. Well, the mayor did not. I agree. The mayor did not pick the fight. She stood on principle. I agree with that assessment. And I'm not saying that she was wrong, but I am saying it's not going to serve her well in federal court.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's get to some of this other stuff too, because
Okay.
we got a whole list of stuff.
We do. You gave me a long list.
I sure did. So I wanted to go through and make sure that we talking about petty. Did you hear the speech the other night from your president?
No, I don't watch that anymore. For my own self-preservation, I do not watch it anymore.
You sound like Wick.
That man is mental, man.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's the rantings of a complete lunatic.
He had just about everything that came out of his mouth was blamed on Obama and Biden.
And it's so ridiculous because they hold all three branches of government right now. If something's going wrong, it's completely on them.
Mhm.
Okay? So it's the man is filled with hate.
Yeah.
And I for my own blood pressure,
I mean, he was
I
screaming.
just can't watch
He
him
was
every day.
screaming in the microphone.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And-
But what's more ridiculous is that people will not rein him in. They know he's dead wrong, and they will not rein him in. What does he have on them? Because I just don't understand it.
But I do think that a lot of this is theater. And the reason I think it's theater is because he's trying to find something to take control of not releasing those Epstein files.
It's all theater with him. It's all the television show.
Mhm.
What was can't think of the name of it.
The
Where he was firing people right and left.
Yeah.
It's all that. I mean, everything with him is theater. What he cannot escape is that everything that is going on in this country right now
The
falls
Apprentice.
squarely at their feet. Right. But he thinks it's all The Apprentice, right?
Mhm.
It's all theater. It's all about what ratings am I going to get? How many likes am I going to get on social media? Is Truth Social going to light up when I put this nasty comment on there? I mean, and if you notice, I don't know if you look at Truth Social, the man is tweeting on Truth Social at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, he doesn't sleep. He's a madman.
Well, the word is that he and Melania don't sleep in the same room no more.
Melania's not in the same zip code. She's not in the same zip code. I don't even think the woman lives there. Did you hear the audio of her talking about the Christmas trees at the White House?
Saying who wants those effing...
Yes.
Yeah.
That's who she is. That's who they are. They're horrible. They're absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Hillary was right when she used the word deplorables. I said it. I don't care what y'all say. I said it.
All right, MAGA coming.
She
at
was
you.
mad.
All right.
They can come. They can come.
Cedric,
Hello.
what's going on?
Hey, I tell you, just call me. My comment is still the same as earlier in the week. Just call me petty. Just call me Mr. Petty. I would not allow you to do anything. Again, you did not make the choice to work with me in reference to this city deficit. I'd be petty. Now, Counselor, I want to ask this. Well, but first I want to make a statement. Now, I don't know why would a current congressman have an opinion on this pettiness. And then we know that a lot of white folk don't like the mayor. So my question is this, Counselor. Should the mayor's lawyers be getting all of the audio from a certain former sheriff's show because he's spewing the hate and has been doing it for years? And I'll hang up and listen.
Should they? Wait a minute. I'm a little lost on
So,
that one too.
Lou Norman.
Should they get his audio?
Should they,
Yeah,
a part of her case perhaps could be based on him spewing racist hate week, calling the mayor
Wouldn't stand up
stupid
in court, though, would it?
Well, let
and
me tell
ignorant.
you. I
I'll
think
hang up and listen.
when you are trying a case, you must consider your audience, okay? And in a federal court audience, attacking Newell Norman or WWL is not going to go well for you. When I pick juries in federal court, or state court, one of the questions I typically ask in picking a juror is, where do you get your news? Where, and most of them in federal court are going to tell you WWL and Fox News, okay? That's just how they answer. So because of that, it would backfire on her to utilize that as a trial strategy in federal court. If the case were pending in Orleans Parish, depending upon who gets seated to be a juror, you might want to use that. But even the Orleans Parish juries now are not what they used to be. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I would have to make that decision in voir dire. But given my federal court experience, I don't think that's the way to go in that particular jurisdiction. I think the way to go in that jurisdiction is show all the things I did right, and talk about the fact that if you had a problem with how I was utilizing the budget, you control the budget, City Council.
Right.
Okay. There were other ways for you to deal with those issues. I think I would have to also, if I were trying this case, look at how prior mayors utilized the Pound Tower. Look at how other mayors may have had similar flight patterns going out of town. I would be making a chart that basically showed everywhere Morial went, everywhere Mitch Landrieu went, everywhere all these other people went, to show that what my client did was no different from what they did in terms of where she went and what she did. What they're questioning is who went with her.
Right.
Okay. And what was done on those trips, which they really can't prove. So if I were her lawyer, I would be making a comparison and saying that what she did was commonplace, had been tradition, had been going on for a very long time, but you're making a difference. Why now? So that's what I would be doing. But I think that
and we don't know that they're not doing that now.
We don't know.
Right.
We don't know how they're planning, but that's the strategy I think that I would go with if I were trying that case, to show that what she did was routine and had been the practice for a long time.
And then the other instances of when she brought up the fact that they would have at different news media outlets folks that were honestly, I think, invading her privacy because they were following her.
Well, she's a public figure.
She's a public figure, but what are you following her for?
Well, I understand, but there's, when someone is a public figure, it's different. Okay. If somebody were following me and taking video and pictures of me like they're doing her, then I could say stalking. Okay. And I could get restraining orders and the like. But if I were the mayor of the city of New Orleans and people were following me and videotaping and photographing, I really couldn't stop them because the argument is you put yourself in that position, particularly when you have your own media team that also follows you and takes videos and posts for you on social media. So it's hard to make that argument. I think, and I started saying this 2 years ago, when this first came up, there was an opportunity to course correct, to say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to get myself another condo somewhere else. I'm not going to stay in the Pontalba. I'm going to use the Pontalba just for entertaining out-of-town guests. There was an opportunity to course correct when we first started talking about this on the radio station. If I were her and I wanted to continue my relationship, even though it's kind of questionable to have somebody working for you that you're in a relationship with who's under you, she could have gotten another security detail and dated on her own time. Okay? I think all of that would have put us in a different place and not where we are now. And we talked about all these things in depth on this station, right? Now we're here and we got to deal with where we are now. So if I were advising her now, she would be kissing babies. She would be doing the nursing home round playing bingo. And I would have a media team following her doing all of that. That would be the public perception that I would want all these people in these outer lying parishes to see of her in these final days in office. And they've had a good year to do this. They knew this indictment was coming, right?
But again,
they could have been doing all this.
We don't know that they're not doing it. They might be doing it now. We don't know because nobody's discussing it.
Nobody's discussing it. I hope that the legal team is considering all of that. I hope they're doing all of that. Look, I don't think any of us want to see another New Orleans mayor, particularly a black New Orleans mayor, do time.
The first.
Nobody wants to see that. So, and none of us, we never said that, right? So now is the time where you've got to try to course correct. You've got to do what lawyers call mitigate your damages, which kind of means pick your battles, clean up your image. Okay, that's kind of where she is. And she's got to start not just focusing upon what pleases her base and what her base might want her to do because she's not up for reelection. Now she's got to shift mindset and think about, if I lived in Tangible Hoa, if I lived in Washington Parish, if I lived in St. Tammany Parish, if I lived in Belle Chase, what would I want to see somebody doing? What looks like public service to those people?
And then we just get a new U.S. attorney.
We did. And, I'm being asked online, am I telling the mayor to be fake? Let me tell you something. People who want to stay out of jail, they do what they have to do to stay out of jail. Okay? So if you want to perceive that as fake, perceive it as fake. But I don't think it's fake because this is a woman who does serve the public. This is a woman who cares about her community. So to see her doing community service would not be fake. Okay? It would just be an emphasis upon something else. It would be an emphasis upon community service and being labeled as a community servant and not being a party girl. Okay? And with Mardi Gras coming up, I don't need to see you shaking it down.
But telling them people, them hoes don't like it.
Right, and singing them hoes don't like that. No, because them hoes in Washington Parish and Tangible Hoa and St. Tammany don't like that.
That was funny, though.
It was funny. It was funny. And look, I'm like, yeah, girl, get it. Okay, she looked good. She was having a good time. I get it. And she was playing to her base. But at the same time, I'm just saying, when you're going in front of a federal court jury and you're fighting for your freedom, okay, emphasize the other things you do well. She is a community servant. We all saw in COVID, she put our interests first.
Right. And she told those other folks, you didn't elect me. My people did.
I understand.
That's how she got that TD.
Yes, but the mindset now has to shift. Because she's fighting for her liberty.
Right.
She's fighting for her daughter. Okay? If it were me and I were on trial, okay, I don't want nothing to take me from my children.
So let me ask you this.
I'm going to do what I need to do.
Because one of the things, too, that bothers me about this whole scenario, it looks like when we have someone that looks like me and you that gets in that office, they're always under scrutiny. But yet, we know of many things that happened through that Landrieu administration
Look,
and never got
exactly.
questioned.
Look, we could talk on this radio about some things that are much more scandalous than what occurred with Mayor Cantrell. Okay, there is living proof of the scandals during the Landrieu administration. Okay, so look, this is not the first mayor to have crossed some of these lines, to have had inappropriate relationships in office. But
oh yeah, because I can remember on the second floor when one of the wives came up there throwing stuff at. I almost said the wrong word. Throwing stuff at people,
right?
Because she found out about a relationship that was going
exactly. And look, this is not the first time any of this has happened. But we also said 2 years ago, when we started talking about this, black women are held to a different standard.
Yeah.
We just
All right, Cardell, hold on. We're coming back. We got to take a break here. We'll take the break and we'll come back with more in just a minute, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
Hey everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks
and Kimber White Dupree
from the front porch.
Some combos are too good to miss. Now you can pull up a chair to the front porch anytime.
Just search WBOK Media and subscribe to the Front Porch Podcast.
Download, share, and hit us with a 5-star rating because New Orleans culture deserves to be heard loud and clear.
This is Dr. Jaquil Ross, the host for Talk That, NOLA Education, brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans. On Talk That, we focus on the amazing work of educators and students happening inside and around public schools in New Orleans. Our school community is full of so much talent and promise, so let's talk about it. This month, we'll be joined by Dana Peterson and Christy Ivy to learn about the academic gains in New Orleans public schools that have resulted in the district earning a B letter grade. Also, we'll hear from Kathleen Harris, Dr. Sheila Guidry, and Dr. Candace Robertson talk about how NSNO and NOLA public schools are supporting a growing English language learner population in our schools. Following that, we'll have a conversation with Claire Jekyllin, Harold Jaluk, and Terrence Payne from the New Orleans Career Center to learn about their programming for our youth. So tune in for Talk That, NOLA Education, every Monday at 12:30 p.m. on 12:30 a.m. To learn more about NSNO programs, visit newschoolsneworleans.org.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com.
Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called, and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing, and now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-311-5977. That's 800-311-5977. 800-311-5977.
This is your Saints Hall of Famer, Tyrone Hughes. Want to wish the whole WBOK audience happy holidays.
Get in on the conversation at 504-582-9422. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Welcome back Friday afternoon with the attorney extraordinaire, Suzette Bagnaris, with the reality check. And Cardell, what's happening with you?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Got you.
Just want to make a couple of comments, and I agree wholeheartedly with Ms. Bagnaris. When I saw she took the banners down the other day, and I said, that's not going to look good. It's not that she's right or wrong. It's not going to look good. You're going to trial. next year, next year. And I always call in your show, and I used to have a saying, don't give them anything because they're looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to catch you. Don't give them anything. This is a matter of common sense, okay? Of common sense. You're not only talking about influencing the jurors, you got the judge to take into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
So stand back. It's not a matter about being right or wrong. It's about being smart.
That's exactly
Simple as
right.
that.
That's
It's
exactly
about
what
being
I'm
smart.
saying. You know, I
And that's
try
all
cases
it's
in all
about.
these parishes, and I know what these people think because I
Thank you.
poll them.
But isn't this like poking the bear? Like they if you go back to the other side, isn't this the other side who's saying let's do something to get her?
Well, maybe so.
Because she gonna fall for
Okay,
it.
but maybe so. I have people who try to bait me professionally all the time because they want me to come out and act like the angry black woman. Okay, I can't do that because then I let them win. Okay, I'm not saying maybe she was baited. Maybe they put the banners up because they wanted her to react. I don't know. I don't know if that much thought was placed into it. But you don't have to give them that. Okay? You don't have to you don't have to throw the dirt on your own grave. And that's what she's doing right now.
I'm not sure who she's taking her advice from because let's go back a little bit. When she voluntarily went before the grand jury, guy from Channel 8, Responti, I think his name was, the lawyer, in all of his career, he never saw anybody go voluntarily before the grand jury.
Mm-hmm.
And what did the grand jury do? They caught in a couple of lies.
Yep.
So
I
don't
have
know if she's
never
making
been
her
a
own
fan of the
decision,
advice.
if she is not taking her attorneys, something's going on there. And this, I think, is a big mistake. As Ms. Wagner said, go out and make people see the softer side of you. You know, I'm not a fan of the mayor. You know that, Gerard.
Yeah.
But I don't want the woman to go to jail, but you got to be smart. Don't give them anything. And that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've been saying that for
And that's the
couple of
whole
years
point
now,
of this. Okay, look, I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm saying in the interest of self-preservation, she needs to start thinking about that too. Because that's where she finds herself. That's where she finds herself.
All right, Kevin. Kevin?
Hello. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Look, my story does not change. Look, it's not. First of all, you have to listen to your counsel. She's obviously doesn't have good counsel, or she's tone deaf and not listening to them. And this didn't just happen just now. This happened when they were scrutinizing her spending and her flights and her trips and all that, and her relationship with the hired help. You know, she's just tone deaf. But the question is this: if she's right, two things can be true at the same time. She's right, and she did what she should have done, and at the same time, she has to realize her circumstances is being scrutinized right now, and it could be crucial to her personal life. So she has to listen to counsel. I think Ms. McNair has a great point, and she's a counsel. She would know that. But at the same time, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. I think in addition to her doing community service, she can engage the public so other people don't take the narrative and go where they want to with it. And she can't control the narrative by explaining to the public why she's done this. I think you mentioned that there's some events coming up, and these banners are going to be intruding on that particular venue by being up there. And I think she could explain that away very easily if she explained why she took them down, if that's in fact the case, because it's just not. In addition to it being inappropriate, in addition to it being bad timing, we don't control any of that. But what we do control is letting the public know why you're making these decisions and how it impacts whatever it is ongoing business that she still has to address while she's in office. But at the end of the day, those people, and I say those people, but the people who don't have black people interest at heart have always been there. They'll always be there. Okay, the question is, we need to quit focusing on what they do after we know what they do. Once you know the animal you're dealing with, take precautions for what we know they're capable of, but focus on how we navigate these waters as a collective community, and that's what she could do by engaging it in those ways, explaining to the community what she's doing.
You are 100% correct, Kevin. Instead of just letting the petty narrative play on social media, and it's played a few days now, right? And double down on the petty narrative. She should have had a spokesperson come on the television immediately, release a press release saying the banners were taken down because the proper procedure was not followed, the proper approvals were not sought and were not granted, and the banners are in a space that's reserved for another event that needs to post its banners. There was a great explanation for all of this, okay? That everyone would have been able to say it was reasonable. And she didn't have to deliver that message herself. She could have had a media spokesperson deliver it. But to let the narrative stand as I did this because I was being petty, okay, that's not a good narrative. That's not a good look for a juror from Plaquemine Parish or Tangipahoa.
And Gerard is correct. They're going to do what they're going to do anyway.
Yep.
But at least you've managed it the best that you can, given the circumstances that we're under here.
Correct. And that's been my problem from the beginning, okay? I don't know who's been advising her. I don't know why she's ignored the advice if she got good advice. And I also I don't like the way the thing has been managed. I think all of this could have been done so differently, and she might not find herself in the hot water that she's in.
But at the end of the day, we have to start focusing on, we know what reality we're in, and we have to start acting accordingly so we can know how to deal with the animals that we're dealing with.
Correct.
All right, Kevin. Thank you, brother.
Thank y'all.
All right. So we do have some other stuff to talk about, so I'll make sure that we get into how many we went through already. 3?
We went through 1.
Went through 2.
1, you talked about this Banner Gate.
We talked about Mike Ward.
That wasn't even on the list.
That wasn't?
No.
I got to go through the list.
I have the list in front of me. That wasn't on the list.
That's on the list. More coming up, folks. We got to talk about the Epstein files.
That was on the list.
All right. More coming up, folks. We'll take some of your calls. 504-582-9422. More coming up.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News Now. President Trump is doubling down on his comments, blaming the deaths of Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle on, quote, Trump derangement syndrome.
I think he hurt himself in career-wise. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country.
Trump said Reiner was, quote, known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump. Police in Miami are investigating after a woman was found dead inside of a freezer at a Dollar Tree store. An employee made the discovery Sunday. The victim is a 32-year-old physician and mother of 2. It's believed she walked into the freezer Saturday before the store closed. And Merriam-Webster is selecting slop as its 2025 Word of the Year. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. 5 o'clock in the city, that means it's time to get off. Woo, woo. A lot of people not going back to work next week, too.
I'm not. My office always closes
You close?
Yeah, always close. I like to give my staff time to spend with family, to regroup, to set their priorities for the upcoming year. I use this time to be deep in prayer and think about what our year is going to look like next year, what our priorities are, our goals, and to get aligned and get ready for the upcoming year.
Well, hallelujah.
Yeah.
Because I was coming over next week. See,
We can come to the house because that's where I'm going to be, at the house.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Mhm.
These are the K20 banners. That's what's supposed to be hanging.
And I think that a press release could have been issued saying these are the banners that are supposed to be posted at this time and proper approvals were not given for the inauguration banners. That is a reasonable response, a legitimate response, okay? You should not have allowed the petty narrative to go. If you need me to write the press release for you, girl, I can. I was a communications major in college. I can write the press release for you.
Wait, I mean, you just all that plus a bag of
I am. I mean, I was a communicator. I can write the press release.
You can drive the U-Haul.
I can drive the U-Haul.
What else?
I can six shotgun. I have your back. You know, I can be your wingman. I can do all those things. But somebody should have written a press release about this.
So I'm privileged because I see how the banners are supposed to go.
Correct.
Not everybody saw this.
Right. And if
Still, they have not
if
seen
somebody put this picture against the inauguration pictures and had done a press release and said this is what was planned for Gallia Hall at this time, okay, in connection with the K20. If someone had done that, then none of this petty agenda, okay, would be the focus this week. None of it. We wouldn't be having Bannergate.
Bannergate, ladies and gentlemen, it's Bannergate. What you say, Galloway?
Yo, what's going on, Brother G-Man? How you doing today?
Trying to hang in here, that's all.
Well, don't worry about it, man. You ain't got nothing but an hour, then you get to kick off your shoes and relax your feet, man.
That's what I'm talking about,
brother.
That's what I'm talking about.
My thoughts on this situation right here, it don't matter if Mary Cantrell was walking right next to the Pope. That's a black woman in a black city as a mayor. Anything and everything. I don't care if that woman could sneeze or fart or whatever. They're going to try to bring charges. What you need to worry about is who authorized that $800,000 to investigate her. I'm going to give you three names, and I ain't going to keep you long, and I ain't going to tell you nothing wrong. Number one, Elaine Carter, that used to work with her. Her sister went to jail. She been mad ever since then. J.P. Morrell, his brother's supposed to be in jail. 6 counts of wild fraud.
He is in jail.
Then Helena Moreno, we all know about her hit and run situation. Those three people are very vindictive. And then you got the south of East Louisiana, Southwest Louisiana. It don't matter. These are the same people who left out of New Orleans in white flight. They gonna try to sock it to her. My advice to her: do what you got to do. But I would plea bargain. I wouldn't even take this to trial. I would plea bargain enough where I wouldn't have to serve no time in prison. Because if she take this to trial, they are gonna try to throw the book at her. Ask man Nagin about that. Now I'm up out of here, bro. Have a good weekend.
What you doing the weekend, bro? It sound like an old English weekend.
Oh, no, brother. I got a Super Bowl. I got a Christmas party Saturday at my house. We got the brisket going right now. So we're going to party it up all day tomorrow and get
So, Galloway, let me get something out you here real quick. If you had to make the decision on what happened, right or wrong, and what's your final decision on what you saw?
With the banners going up there?
Yep.
The banners going up there, I would have went to her directly. I'm serious. I would have went to her directly and asked her who gave you permission to do this. Who from my office or from my staff? So I'm going to correct it right there. Her going out there and taking it down, we don't know what was said between these people. I believe Helena Moreno did this so she would react. We haven't heard anything from Cantrell in a while. So let's make her look stupid going out there and do that, because that's all it did. So my bottom line is I would have went to her personally, without the media, without anybody.
No, so you know they took those banners that they took down. You know they already done hung up on a state building in the French Quarter.
Yeah, I thought they was at the museum, the Calio or whatever.
Yeah, the Calibio or whatever that is.
Calibio. Yeah, you know what happened in that building, right?
Cabildo.
It's next to the Palm Tower, right? across the way.
You know what happened in that building?
What happened?
That's where Plessy versus Ferguson was decided.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So now you got a white Latino / Hispanic running New Orleans now. Figure that. Have a good weekend, G.
You do the same, brother.
All right.
All right. So I just don't know. I'm looking at it and saying, yes, it's petty. But I'm not saying it's petty on either one. I'm just saying that the situation is petty. And we're going to choose sides, not because of what's right, what's wrong. We're going to choose sides on who we like and who we don't do, and who we dislike.
I would suggest to you that Keith, who called in, was right. Two things can be
Kevin.
true. Kevin, who called in, was right. Two things can be true at the same time. Okay? She was right to have them removed because the proper protocol was not followed. But she also was wrong in terms of how she's
how it was
casting her right, and how she's casting herself in a light that could put herself in more jeopardy than she needs to be.
Because I have to put myself in here. I feel privileged because I have the photo of Gallia Hall
the way it was supposed to look,
the way that it's supposed to look
right now,
with the K2.
with
the K20 banners. But the media has not put that up.
No, because if you were handling her media,
I would have had it up.
You would have had that up.
Right.
Okay.
I would have sent it to every media outlet.
Absolutely.
This is what's supposed to be on the Gallia
Right.
Hall.
There's an easy fix to this.
Right.
This is what my
Just send them the
frustration,
picture.
my frustration with this administration, okay, has always been there's easy fixes to all of these issues with just a good media team and a good lawyer. None of this had to happen. And I mean, tune into WBOK. We've been giving you good media advice and legal advice for 2 years that would have kept you from being in this situation.
And it gets copied every week.
And people talk. And some of these politicians are texting while we're doing this show.
Yep.
Some of them are listening.
Yep.
I just think that, people are saying it's too late for her to course correct. No, it's not. The jury has not yet been seated. And I have sometimes had a trial where I go in and in questioning potential jurors, they'll tell me their mindset and how they're going into the trial. But at the end of the trial, once they've heard all the arguments and seen all the evidence, then they'll say, hey, you changed my mind. Because I do interview these people at the close of trials because I want to know how they received the evidence and what if their perspective changed. And it usually does if you give them the right information.
Right.
So even now, she has an opportunity. It's the perfect time. It's Christmas. There's all kinds of events going on where you can show your humanity, where you can be community engaged and involved and put yourself in a different light. There's all kinds of things happening. Do some of those things between now and your trial date and have a strong media team capturing it all and posting it where these people from these other parishes can see it.
Maybe you want me to post that? Maybe I'll post
I
it.
think you should.
Maybe I'll just post it.
Post it so people can see what was supposed to be there versus what was jumped the gun and put there, okay? Not following proper protocols. And I'm going to ask them to share it so then people can see it's not Pettygate, okay? It's not Pettygate. It's that it should not have been there and it was removed. And if a proper media team and lawyer would have made sure that was done.
I'm sorry. It's Pettygate.
Now it is. Now it is. It didn't have to be.
That's Pettygate.
It didn't have to be.
All right. Let's go to Jonathan. Jonathan.
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Good, yourself?
Good. It's Joe Nathan. I know before you get it out, I'm going to tell you who it is.
I already know Joe Nathan. He just put Jonathan up there, so I was like, okay, yeah, that's the real name, but we still call you Joe Nathan. What's happening?
Thank you, brother, and blessings to y'all, man, and happy holidays before I get into what I got to say.
Same to you.
To all of those people who thought this mayor-elect was the right person to put into office, we're already seeing an inkling of what you're probably going to get. Somebody who's misinformed, don't have an idea about what she's really doing, and really showing that there's an element behind her that's going to be pushing her all the way. Okay? You've been on the city council for, 8 years? 8 years. Yourself, right?
Yep.
Right. So you know better. You know better. You know better. And I agree with you, Ms. Bagnaris. Yes, Mayor Cantrell needs to think of some self-preservation right now. But at the same time, this lady is showing that she's coming in, doing things wrong. So what are we to expect as the public when she actually gets in office, when it's time for her to get in office? How many mistakes are you going to make? And are you going to reveal some of those things that you didn't do when you were sitting on that council and you had the control to do, or you had the power to do some things? Okay, so that's my whole concern with it, and she had enough people. There was a who's who of people standing up there when she won that election, right? And some people who I'm still disappointed that I saw up on that stage, right? But nobody had the sense enough to tell you, hey, baby, look, chill out. I mean, you can put up banners the day of the inauguration or whatever you want to call it when you're coming in. That doesn't have to be done now. You still have a few weeks before that time comes. Everybody knows you've won. So I think the petty stuff is more from Moreno's side.
I agree.
Cantrell did what she was able to do legally, okay, or what she could have done within her right to do, okay. But you're right, Attorney Bagnaris. She should be thinking of herself right now. But I also want to ask you before I get off, as an attorney, and you probably can't say, I don't know if you can or not. How do you feel that trial is going to go for her?
I think she's going to be convicted, and I said that 2 years ago.
Yes,
and I said that 2 years ago before she was even indicted, that I could see that some of the things she was doing were going to land her in a criminal trial. We're going to cause an indictment, and we're going to probably result in a conviction.
Yes, ma'am.
But, does that mean I'd give up? I would not give up. I fight to the end for my client. And I think there are some things that can be done, maybe to change the juror's mind completely.
Yes, ma'am.
But maybe to mitigate her time, okay, to impress something upon the judge. So I would fight to the end for my client. But at the same time, I could see this coming 2 years ago. And I never understood why her legal team, the people who she surrounded herself with, were not giving her the advice to keep her out of this situation. My heart my heart goes out to her. She's now a single mother, okay, raising a daughter who needs her, and to be in this situation, my heart breaks for her. It really does, and it could have been avoided. Now, I hope that Helena Moreno, because you raised a good point, I hope Helena Moreno is paying attention, because she's a Hispanic woman in America.
Yes, ma'am.
If she's paying attention to the climate in America right now, she's going to be a target. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And the same thing could happen to her. And if she does not surround herself with some people who just won't tell her what she wants to hear, but tell her what she needs to hear, and have the difficult conversations, and listen to them, she may find herself in a very similar situation. Okay, she is going to be under the microscope. She's a Mexican American. Okay, in this climate with ICE. All right, she really needs to realize she's walking into a situation where she's going to be under the microscope. And one false move, and she could find herself in a serious situation. So learn from this situation and do something differently. And surround yourself with people who will help you to prevent having a misstep like this banner situation. The banner situation is minor.
Yeah, this is minor.
Okay, but the next misstep may not be minor.
No, the previous one before that. I'm talking about this actually, to me, is misstep number 2, because that's number 2. The first misstep, I would say, is if I'm in the media and I really want to get down to this budget issue, I need to know how much of this budget issue you knew before the election, That's number one.
Right.
And then number two,
Exactly.
if you're really concerned about this budget issue that all of us are concerned about, how many budget meetings did you go to prior to you getting elected as the new mayor? I need to know. Because you're trying to fix something that, if you haven't been to those budget meetings, you're trying to fix something that you really don't know nothing about.
Exactly.
And I got to tell you, when I looked at all the different transition teams and committees that were put together for this transition, it was a bunch of campaign supporters that are just, getting the nod to be on these committees. Nobody who didn't support her. Okay?
Right.
Sometimes you need to surround yourself with people who weren't on your squad, who were on your opponent's squad. Okay?
Right. You got to balance things out.
Yes, and get some perspectives that may not align with your own. Okay? I mean, I think that's what a wise person does. You surround yourself with the best and the brightest, even if they were not from your camp. So I just hope she's paying attention. Did you get your invitation to the inauguration? Because I didn't. Did you get one?
I know.
No, I didn't.
I didn't get one. I know friends who did get them, but I didn't get mine. Mine must be lost in the mail because I didn't get one.
Mine ain't lost in the mail. It was never mailed.
But I mean, like I said, she was privy to a lot of this stuff that she's trying to throw back and say that it was all Cantrell.
That's going to be for the next 12 months.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She's going to find herself in the Trump situation. You can't keep saying it was the fault of the prior administration.
Because once you in there,
because once you're in there, yes, then it's squarely in your lap. And she really can't divorce herself from the prior administration because she was the prior administration.
And I got to tell you something too. This city, if one of the most important things of this city is not discussed, and I don't know if it's going to go through Homeland or whatever, but there has to be a plan put together at least in January or February. January, because of the fact that we are now finding out that white guy was coming here to blow some stuff up. And we already saw what happened in January of this year.
Right.
It ain't been 12 months yet.
Right.
So what's your plan for these folks?
That's a public safety issue, not the banner.
That's number one. Number two, you got Mardi Gras following right behind that after they get past the Sugar Bowl. And you got 7-8 million folks coming here. What's your plan to make sure these folks are safe? Because remember, we got a SEER reading during the Super Bowl last year. This year, we got a SEER rating. We had to pay for that. So my question is, how are we paying for all this stuff when you got this bond issue that's still not solved? It's still not solved.
You raised good points, and that's where the focus should be right now. Now, I want to say this. This is going to be some harsh, cruel advice, and if I never say another word to the mayor-elect, I'm going to give her some advice that my grandmother would give me. Never forget who and what you are. She may think that she's uptown white girl. She's not.
No.
Okay? She's a Mexican American. She's a Latino woman.
A Democrat. A woman in Latino.
Right.
These people will turn on you quicker than you can say your name. Okay? And yes, okay? So I need you to realize, never forget, in this entire time you're in office, who and what you are. You have risen to the challenge, and kudos to that. And we're all proud of you for the opportunity that you're about to undertake and the challenges you're about to step into.
So you didn't get your invitation?
I did not get my invitation to the inauguration. So this is I guess is what I would have written on my card if I had been invited.
Let's call City Hall.
If I had been invited on my card, it would have said something about don't forget who.
Joe,
and what
I'm about
you
to
are.
call City Hall, see if we
It's lost in the mail.
I'm
gonna talk to the postman.
Do we need to go
I'm
pick it up?
gonna talk to the postman. It's lost in the mail.
We can go pick it up.
Yeah, it was lost in the mail. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right. but a lot on her plate, and we're gonna see if she's able to eat that plate.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, I'll stay in tune though. Y'all
All
keep
right,
on doing
Joe
what y'all
Nathan,
doing.
happy holidays to you, my
y'all.
friend. Happy holidays.
Yes, sir.
All right, talk to you soon. All right, so you don't want me to call?
It's coming. I'm sure it's coming. It's probably been FedEx to us, Gerard, to make sure that we got it. So we're just going to wait for the FedEx to arrive. And I'm sure we'll have to sign for it because I'm sure we have VIP seating as well.
I'm going to call Jared.
I was surprised I didn't see your name on the media team, on the media relations team, Gerard.
Media relations?
Yeah, media relations or community relations team. There's a transition team for that.
There is?
Yeah, you were not. I didn't see your name. Was that a misprint?
I just called Miss Laparolery and asked her. I know. I'm going to just ask him, hey.
Yeah, give her a call. Give her a call.
Y'all think they're going to have chicken wings over there?
Taco.
Need some chicken wings.
Oh, you going to hell for that one. Not good.
It was a friend of mine. I'm sorry, but I love tacos. Her dog's name is Nacho. In my defense, her dog's name is Nacho. There might be a taco.
There is no cleaning that up here.
Probably not.
We going to break.
I'm just going to apologize right now for that one.
You cannot.
But I love tacos. And I like Nacho. He's a cute dog.
Gerard, sir.
We're just going to take the break.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, we're going to take the break.
Yeah, we'll just take the break
More
there.
coming up.
Yeah, no chicken. No chicken.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by Lowe's.com. NBA superstar Stephen Curry is now a sneaker-free agent after breaking up with Under Armour. Bloomberg U.S. sports business reporter Randall Williams and I sat down to talk about what's next for Steph and what's sure to be one of the biggest sneaker brand bidding wars of all time. One of my biggest questions? Does someone as big as Steph even need a partnership with a brand? Randall told me in all likelihood the answer is yes.
Until you figure out just how much money goes into these supply chains, goes into even modeling a single sneaker. And then, of course, if you sprain an ankle in that sneaker, then nobody's going to want to wear it. You have to be, the cards have to line up in your favor, and you have to have people who want to wear these sort of sneakers. And I don't know if that's something that's in his vision.
Despite breaking up, there's still one more Curry sneaker Under Armour is planning to release in early 2026. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Getting more as a MyLowe's Pro Rewards member is easier than ever with the Lowe's app. Download it today and earn 500 points the first time you log in. Plus, your digital wallet helps you scan, save, earn, and access what you need to manage it all in one place. Download the Lowe's app and take advantage of your Pro benefits today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 12/1/25 through 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login per organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
As this year comes to a close, I want to end on a note of confidence. Confidence in our country, confidence in our people, and confidence in the democratic ideals that have guided us for nearly 2.5 centuries. There are voices today predicting the collapse of democracy, warning that authoritarianism is inevitable, and suggesting that the American experiment is nearing its end. I am not among them. I have listened carefully to the mood of the country in conversations, in communities, and across generations, and I find that the majority of Americans remain deeply committed to the ideals established by our forefathers in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Those who fear that the greatest social experiment in the history of mankind is on the brink of dissolution may not be students of our history. This nation has endured some of humanity's darkest chapters and survived them, not because we were perfect, but because we were persistent. We began with the near destruction of Native American nations. We endured the moral stain of slavery, followed by a brutal civil war that tested whether this union could survive at all. We lived through the cruelty of Jim Crow, the exclusion and demonization of immigrants, the systematic suppression of women's voices, and the ongoing struggle for equal access to the ballot for communities of color. These injustices were not anomalies, they were defining tests, and at each turning point, progress was pushed forward by ordinary people who refused to surrender the promise of freedom and justice for all. Progress did not arrive quickly, quietly, or without sacrifice, but it arrived because the majority of Americans ultimately chose principle over fear and inclusion over division. That is the enduring strength of this nation. Not blind optimism, but hard-earned resilience. Not perfection, but a shared belief that we can and must do better. Democracy has always been noisy, contentious, and fragile, yet it has proven remarkably durable because it is sustained by citizens who understand that its survival depends on their participation, vigilance, and courage. So as we look to the future, I remain hopeful, not because the challenges before us are small, but because our capacity to confront them has been proven time and again. We are held together by the quiet decency of millions who still believe in the rule of law, the dignity of every human being, and the promise of equal justice under that law. And as we continue this unfinished journey, we would do well to remember the words written by theologian Theodore Parker and made popular by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. This is Norman Robinson off the top.
Hoops, Heat, The Truth, on demand. Ball Don't Lie is now live on all podcast platforms. Tap in, search WBOK Media, find Ball Don't Lie, and bring the fire with you wherever you go. Download, share, and leave that 5-star review, because the game doesn't stop when the show ends.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
2517 Bayou Road, Chef Sherman Esteem. You're talking about great food, great conversations, and definitely great drinks. We sell hookahs and we rent them out. So if you want to have a nice time and smoke your nice hookah, come on down to Nano's Cajun Cuisine and Pastries and have a wonderful time. We will entertain you and we will treat you with happiness and joy. And by the way, on our first and third Saturdays, we always have a block party on Bayou Road. Come and check us out from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Hi, this is Troy Henry, one of the owners of WBOK and Equity Media. And on behalf of myself, my family, and my company, Henry Consulting, we'd like to wish you a very, very, very happy holiday.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. The number is 504-582-9422. We are live in studio. Suzette Bagnaris, the attorney extraordinaire. I'm Gerard Stevens. We're glad to have your company. For the final few minutes here before we get out for Friday, hope that you are having a great weekend. So let me ask you this. It's cold today. It's supposed to be 75 tomorrow and 75 the next day.
And it's supposed to be 77 on Christmas Day.
What you doing for Christmas?
Well, I'm cooking. I'm hosting Jessica's fiance and his family for 2 weeks. I'm going to enjoy a lot of family time over the next 2 weeks.
I really had something to say, but I bit my tongue. I bit my tongue. You got another family coming in?
Yes. So my middle daughter, Jessica, is getting married in March, and her fiance, Devin Pruitt, and his family are joining us for the entire holiday season. So
Aren't
we'll
you
be having
just
a lot of
happy?
family time. It'll be great.
All right, let me go on. Because I've been done said something to you, and Jessica been done beat me up. Epstein.
Yes. So the Epstein files were to be released today. You know, I don't have a lot of hope for what's going to be in those files. They have had months and months and months to scrub them.
95,000 photos.
Yeah, I think they've scrubbed them. I don't trust the content of the Epstein files now. I mean, we can't trust this administration.
Now,
I really think they've scrubbed them.
Scrub them. They cannot
They have scrubbed
redact
them. I guarantee you. They scrubbed. They're good and scrubbed. They're so clean, you could eat off of them.
Now, the word came back that
real talk.
When they came out, when they supposedly came out, and Trump had found out about them, that he had Kash Patel to have the FBI to sit there and go through all the emails, all the calendars, and everything, and redact his name.
What I think the Epstein files are going to show us is how wealth and privilege shields accountability. So I think you're going to see a bunch of Democrats, and they're going to purge all of the high-level Republicans out.
But my problem is this, and I don't know if anybody else agrees with me on this one, but they keep saying, oh, they didn't do anything, he didn't do anything, he didn't do anything. My issue is, why are these old men hanging out with young girls?
Okay, so I'm going to talk from my perspective.
Okay.
For the last 35 years of my career, I have worked in class action litigation where I have been the only woman and the only black person in the room sitting at the table. And I have been working with extremely wealthy white men, extremely wealthy.
Okay.
The conversations at those tables revolve around mistresses, watches, homes all over the world, and vehicles. That's what they talk about. The younger the woman, the better in those circles. And they are one-upping each other constantly in terms of, this is who I'm dating, this is who I'm dating, this is who I'm dating. So from my perspective, having been in those rooms, that's the MO. With wealth, that's another accessory. And I think that the more money corrupts to a certain extent. And so, and peer pressure is really something, you know? Now, I just think that this whole Epstein file thing, when it all comes out in the wash, is going to show us how wealth and privilege shield accountability, how institutions fail victims of sexual abuse, how the powerful people avoid liability for their actions, and how silence can be bought and enforced.
Which is going on with the current administration right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I just look at this, and the number one thing that I look at is we have a situation where they have a bunch of wealthy white men that are saying, oh, just because you see that little girl beside me hugging on me or sitting on my lap or something of that sort, I didn't do anything wrong.
Why would children, 12, 13 years old, be hanging out with,
Why?
It's a pedophile ring. We all know this, right? I think the irony of this, though, is you might recall that the Republicans kept talking about Pizzagate. And they kept saying there was a ring of Democrats and a ring of celebrities who were pedophiles. Well, it turns out it was you all along.
Right.
It was you all along. Now, that's not saying that there were not Dems and there weren't, celebrities that were also involved in this activity. And I want to say this. I don't care whose name is on the list. You're wrong.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're Democrat. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're rich or you're poor. You're wrong if you're a pedophile and you're molesting children. And I think that's the moral compass that America should stand on. It's wrong. No matter who ends up on that list, it's wrong.
And if they're saying that, well, yeah, I didn't do anything wrong, then my question is, why would somebody like what's the financial guy? Morgan Chase, whatever his name is. Well, why is he apologizing already?
I think a lot of them are going to be apologizing.
Why
I
is the
think
professor from MIT apologizing?
Those files are supposed to be released today. The suicide rate about to go up. Because that's how white men deal with stress like that.
Wrong. Why are you with a kid?
There's no explanation for having teenage girls at parties with 70-year-old men.
What's wrong?
60-year-old men. It's wrong.
When did we start up Stranger Danger?
Wrong is wrong.
Stranger Danger. And it reminds me of the old times when your mama, you'd be like, okay, we're going over your cousin's house. Let me have that conversation.
Don't talk to Bobo.
Don't talk to Uncle Bobo, because Uncle Bobo
ain't right. That's how they would say it. Ain't right.
Don't let me catch you in a room by yourself
with Uncle Bobo. Exactly. But think about this. The first lady of this country,
how you know Uncle Bobo,
was introduced to President Trump through Epstein. The first lady of this country is probably a victim of sex trafficking and sexual abuse.
But how you know Uncle Bobo?
Everybody know Uncle Bobo, just like everybody don't want to be Boo Boo the Fool. Who is Boo Boo the Fool? But everybody know him. Everybody knows.
Why you got this dude started?
Everybody knows who Boo Boo the Fool.
I'm trying to figure out why she hanging out with Uncle Bobo.
Right.
Everybody
and your mama ain't your friend. We can have a whole show on that. Your mama ain't your little friend. Okay? Your mama ain't your little friend. Your mama ain't to be played with. Don't talk to Uncle Bobo. And don't be Boo Boo the Fool.
And don't be in the room with Uncle Bobo by himself.
See, that's good Christmas advice for you. So, what all of that we just said, that's what you need to be,
But what happened to those days?
Those days still exist. And I just think, I think this is a lot. I think a lot has been unearthed in the last, few years. We've learned more about the prevalence of this.
I do believe that these issues with Epstein, with there being so many different photos, with there being so many different emails, with there being so much communication.
It's right in your face.
That this has been going on for years.
It has been going on for years. I mean, just look at the pictures of the first lady. The first lady of the country, met him when she was a teenager. There are pictures of her at an Epstein party with Trump as a teenager, a late teenager. Okay? No doubt in my mind, this woman was a victim of sex trafficking. All right? And now she's protecting the self-trafficker. Okay? I mean, it's a sad reality we're living in. I feel for the victims. They deserve justice. But I don't think they're going to get justice in this particular. I don't think they're going to get justice in this situation.
But what about Marjorie Taylor Greene? Marjorie Taylor Greene has turned. I mean, you would think that she's a Democrat now.
You would. I think she is siding with the victims. Something has happened in her relationship with the president. Something has happened in her relationship with Musk.
One that's going to break up the MAGA folks.
And she may find herself not walking the earth.
You think so?
They will do whatever they have to do to protect themselves. Okay?
But
they will do whatever
they
have to do to protect themselves.
Those folks are really saying, that's where we cut it off with the trafficking of our kids. Because if you look around and you start looking at who these girls are, that's that precious little white girl.
If they really felt that way, they would call for this man's impeachment. They know he's dead to rights. They know it. There's enough photographs all over the internet and enough victims coming out and speaking and enough lawsuits that have been filed for everyone to know who this man is. Okay? They don't want to handle it.
Yeah.
They don't want to handle it.
I'm just looking around and saying to myself, I want to see what they got into, and if they've made some, because I figured out that a lot of those things are going to be redacted.
Look, a lot of those congressmen
Right.
went to those parties
Right.
and did the same thing.
Right.
Okay? So, I mean, it is what it is, y'all. It's a bigger issue. It's a bigger issue.
A reverse Puffy.
It's a reverse Puffy. It is. So
This
are
is
they?
a reverse Puffy. That's all it is.
But this Justice Department is not going to go after these rich white men the way they went after Puffy.
I think they will.
I don't think they will.
I
think they will go after some Democrats, but they're not going to go after the Republicans in charge.
All right. So we'll see what they're going to do. And I think it's bad timing that they
stay away
release
from
that stuff.
Congressman Bobo too at Christmas.
Yeah, Congressman Bobo is not a good congressman. But I will say this. I think the timing is bad because they are releasing all this stuff during the time of Christmas. Nobody's going to be paying attention.
No, nobody's paying attention. I'm sorry, but I think we've come to a point in America where we are so divided along political lines that the right and the left are no longer living in the same reality.
Mm-hmm.
We're not living in the same planet, let alone the same zip code. And we can't even have a conversation anymore because the way we think about the world and our facts is based upon how we receive our news and who we surround ourselves with. We're so polarized now. There's no conversation.
All right, we got to talk about this one. Fannie Willis, the district attorney down in Georgia.
I'm a Fannie fan.
She called him everything but a child of God.
I'm a Fannie fan. And if I were a district attorney, that would be me. You know it would be.
She called him everything but a child of God.
Yeah.
And do you think that they are, I mean, they are questioning her like this trial just happened yesterday.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a minute. But she made it perfectly clear to them that if something came up again in her district with her being a district attorney, she said, y'all can question me as much as you want to.
She'd do it again.
I'm going to do it again.
Because that's her job. Okay? When people elect you or appoint you to do a job, you do the job. Whatever it's called to do, you do the job. And I'm sorry. I mean, it wasn't a popularity contest. She knew that when she took the job. And she's done the job.
And she made it a point to let them know that I see what you all doing. I see how you are trying to intimidate me. But I need y'all to know I can't go to my house because I'm getting threats. My children and me getting death threats. So I can't even live in my own house. But that's not going to stop me from doing my job.
Much respect.
I was like, go get them.
Much respect.
Y'all not intimidating me. I'm going to let you have it right here. And I also know that you're running for office next year. I was like, uh-oh, go get them. But she didn't bite her tongue.
Much respect for that position. It's not always easy to do a job when you're a prosecutor, okay? You have to make a lot of tough calls. You have to do things that sometimes are not popular. But when you take on that kind of office, you're serving the public and you have to follow the law and follow where the law takes you.
And I wonder, is she... Well, no. She made that perfectly clear. She said, I'm not going to stop. She said, I'm not Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm not going to quit. I was like, okay. All right, Fannie. Was it Fannie or Fonnie?
I think it's
Fonnie.
It's Fonnie. I think it's Fonnie.
Yeah. But I like the fact that she said, y'all can try to intimidate me all you want to, but I'm not going to quit.
I'm a fan. You know, I'm also a Jasmine Crockett fan.
Yeah.
Jasmine is giving it to them day in, day out. And she gives it to them in the language that they speak. And she also gives it to them in vernacular. And I just love her.
So I didn't understand why she was going to run for Senate as a congressperson. But now I understand why she's running for it. Did you know that they had gentrified?
Oh, yeah.
And redid
She wasn't going to win that.
She wasn't going to win
right.
at all. So she decided that she's going to run for a higher seat, Senate, because they had gerrymandered her district.
Yeah, and they did that intentionally to try to get rid of her.
Right. I was like, damn, that must be some powerful stuff you got, girl.
That is powerful.
because they trying to gerrymander your district because they don't want you to run no more.
That is powerful. And she also needs to watch her back, front, side. She needs to be careful.
She was here for Essence.
Yeah.
So we had a chance to go see her for Essence, and she was powerful then too. And she was here for Urban League during Essence, so she got the chance to speak during there too. So I did look at what she had stated, but I didn't understand why she was trying to leave her seat to move up to Senate. And she was like, "My district gonna be gone. It's gonna be gerrymandered."
They drew the line so that she would not have been successful in her bid for re-election.
Right, because they were combining her district, her small district, with a great big old large district of white folks.
She is their most vocal opponent. Mm-hmm. She's not afraid to speak. I'm a big fan. I'm a big Jasmine Crockett fan.
Yeah. Tell you what we'll do. We'll take a break here, our final break before we get ready to get out of here. You can get in on the conversation at 504-582-9422. I'm telling you now, you got a question, get it in because we're going to be gone in 15 minutes. There's more coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight right here.
AURN News.
The U.S. Department of Justice is expanding its legal fight over voter data, filing new lawsuits against Georgia, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Washington, D.C., claiming the states failed to provide full voter registration lists as required under federal law. Now, according to DOJ, the data is needed to enforce National Voter Registration Act and ensure accurate voter rolls. Assistant Attorney General Harmet Dillon says the department is acting to protect election integrity and transparency. But reporting from Democracy Docket highlights sharp resistance from states and legal experts who say the DOJ is demanding unfettered access to highly sensitive personal information, including social security numbers and driver's license data, and warn the effort could lead to the creation of an unprecedented national voter database. Voting rights groups like All Voting is Local is echoing the concerns, calling the lawsuits an abuse of power. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
Hey everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks.
And Kimber White Dupree.
From the front porch, y'all. You know how we do every Monday. It's Movie Monday.
And Tuesday is Trivia Tuesday.
And y'all know we have nothing but bad cheering coming through here on Wednesday.
But stick with us. On Thursday, we travel.
That's right. And Friday's Free Your Mind Friday, so get your brass up.
Something on your mind? Want to get it off your chest?
Holla at your people. WBOK 1230 AM, the station you listen to.
All day long.
You've got responsibilities, but that doesn't mean your dreams are on hold. At Southern University at New Orleans, our evening and weekend college is designed with your life in mind. Finish your degree, start a new one, on your time, your degree, your schedule, no excuses, just opportunity. Visit suno.edu and make your next move today.
The Historic New Orleans Collection presents a new exhibition open through June 7th, 2026, The Trail They Blazed. Built collaboratively with people who participated in the local civil rights movement, The Trail They Blazed presents stories of social and racial justice straight from the people who lived them. Listen to leaders tell their stories of resistance and persistence in their own voices, recorded by the Historic New Orleans Collection. Plan your visit to 520 Royal Street in the French Quarter and reserve your free tickets at hnoc.org today.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping Seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub-to-shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-981-8177. That's 800-981-8177. Call 800-981-8177 right now before the offer ends.
Hey, WBOK family, Ron Richardson here, host of Conversations with Ron Richardson. Just want to wish everybody in New Orleans a happy holidays and Merry Christmas. All the best to you.
WBOK. Listen now on WBOK1230.com.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Can't even talk because we over here laughing and he can't even speak. Go ahead.
Oh, Lord. It has been said, a lot of folks on social media are saying it too, but we looked it up and it is true, that the United States is conducting strikes in Syria in response to the attack that killed 2 American soldiers. So it looks like we are conducting military strikes against Syria. Right now it says that U.S. military tied to ISIS as retaliation for the recent attacks against American troops that were killed 2 service members, according to U.S. officials, dubbed Operation Hawkeye, a reference to the fact that the U.S. We had 2 soldiers killed, and so now we got Operation Hawkeye from the Hawkeye state of Iowa. The strikes hit dozens of targets, the military connected to ISIS, and including infrastructure and weapons stored sites across Syria. That's what the officials are saying.
Now, do you think it's a coincidence that we're conducting military strikes on the day the Epstein files came out?
So let's go back. Let's think about something for a minute. You are correct. That's number one. Number two, ain't this the second time that we have done military strikes against Syria, where Syria has done something before, and while he was in office, his first act of conducting any type of strike was Syria's runway with Tomahawk missiles, saying that he was bombing Syria, and it was runway issues that he did not mess up any infrastructure, nothing. He just had Tomahawk missiles that struck their runways, so the planes couldn't take off.
It's rule 1 in the playbook: distract. This is a military action to distract from the Epstein files being released today.
Right. Well, my whole point is this: I don't want to hear that we had all these Tomahawk missiles that cost us multi-million dollars in the first place, and they didn't bomb anything. Or you sent Tomahawks in there to show them who we were, and it didn't bomb anything. And then they're going to sit up and tell me that it's infrastructure. It ain't infrastructure if you ain't hitting nothing. Nah. Okay.
You got it off your chest?
I got that off.
We're also beefing with Venezuela. I mean, who beefs with Venezuela?
Evidently, we are bombing their boats.
Right. So, I don't know. It's just, I think it's all a distraction because of the Epstein file release. And if you weren't in the Epstein files, if it didn't impact you, you wouldn't be doing all that.
And for those of you that wanted to see, I need to put this up because I did not tell them. You can go to my Facebook page. I put up on my Facebook page the K-20 banners hanging from the rafters of Gallia Hall, so you all will know what it's supposed to look like. Okay? So if you didn't know, and if you haven't seen the photos, I put the photo on my Facebook page. You can go to it and see.
And I really think that she still needs to issue a press release saying that the proper protocol was not followed, the proper chain of command was not followed, and this area was reserved for other banners at this particular time.
And I do think that probably the folks from the Department of Public Works, if somebody from Elena's organization, administration, asked them to put it up, what they gonna say? I'll try to keep my job.
Right.
I'm gonna put them up.
Right.
So I mean, that's what I feel. I'm feeling that these folks are low on the totem pole, and I got instructions from the next administration coming in to put these banners up. Right. I'm trying to keep my job.
Right.
And so guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put them up and keep them. Call it what you wanna. We trying to stay employed, especially when they talking about we getting ready to furlough folks, we getting ready to fire some folks, and we need to make sure that you get a job.
That's what's really sad at this time. that all of these families are going to be in a situation where jobs are lost right after the holiday. That's really sad. And I really wish that we could avoid that. Everybody should be putting their mind together collectively right now to see what can be done to avoid that circumstance.
Yeah. Well, I do feel that in the realm of things where we are as Americans, I really feel that this man is pissing off the world.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This administration is failing economically and politically. And whoever takes the helm next is gonna have a whole lot to do to turn things around.
Yeah. I mean, and half of the stuff that he's destroying with putting his name on all these buildings is now
knocking down the White House.
Yeah. And putting up a bigger room than the actual footage of the White House, so that you'll have a dining hall.
Because he doesn't think he's leaving office.
Nope.
Okay, that's what it is. But today we've talked about power, accountability, conflict, systems that fail people, and people that just fail systems. But as we head into the holidays, Gerard, I want to remind everyone that something is far more important than the headlines and arguments and the issues that we've discussed today. None of this, politics, titles, disputes, or even today's controversies are more important than the people that we love.
Yep.
And so as we move into this holiday season, I want to thank you for all the work you do to keep the community informed. All the things you do that people don't even see, all the community engagement and community service that you do all year round, that never gets recognized, for having this #1 show on WBOK and the time and effort that you put into it and don't always get recognized for it. And don't get recognized for it. And I just want to say thank you for being also a great friend and for giving me this platform to, help to engage with the community.
I'm trying to get you to take it over.
No, that ain't happening. But I do enjoy doing it with you. Spend
Don't
time
buck
with
his
your
head up.
family. Yeah.
Please.
I know. Spend time with your family, folks. Call your parents. Hug your children. Check on your elders. Make space for grace. Give yourself some time to unwind and check in with yourself over this holiday. The world will still be here after the holidays. The news cycle is going to keep spinning, but the moments with the people around you are most important, and you won't be able to get that back. So slow down, be present, choose peace where you can, and remember the greatest legacy any of us can leave isn't power, it's love.
And of course, we will not be here next Friday. Next Friday will be part of our Christmas celebration, and I know the following week will be part of New Year's celebration too. So
that's correct. So I'll see you in the new year, G.
I'll see you in the new year. Happy New Year and happy Merry Christmas to everybody.
Well, from my family to yours and to the WBOK community, I wish you a safe, joyful, and meaningful holiday season.
All right, y'all, that's going to wrap things up for us on this Friday. Y'all be safe, and over the weekend, whatever you do, safe and careful is the way we want you to do it. And I hope that you are ready for the holiday. Y'all
baby.
Yes, indeed.
Let's go.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next week.